Hello, and welcome to Prey. For those of you who have been longtime viewers of this channel, you may remember that I played the original Prey from 2006, way back when, and sort of teased at the idea that I had gotten early access to this game. Even before that, if you're a really, really long-time viewer, which I don't think anyone is at this point, you'll remember back in, I believe, 2011 or 2012, I talked about the release of Prey 2, which is a game that never came to fruition. So that's a decent segue. It's actually a pretty poor segue, but I'm segueing into a reminder that this is Prey. It is not the original Prey. It is not by the original developer or the original publisher. It is, for all intents and purposes, wholly unrelated. It is published by Bethesda, part of the transition between the last game that fell into this slot, The Evil Within 2, and this game is that they're both published by Bethesda. And this feels like a good opportunity to remind everyone that Bethesda Softworks, the publisher, which is a subsidiary of ZeniMax Media, which as of 2021, I know what year it is now a subsidiary of Xbox Game Studios, is still a terrible company. And Pete Hines, in particular, their head of HR, or head of PR, excuse me, has repeatedly proven himself to be untrustworthy. We'll just leave it at that. Now, the legacy of Prey and Prey 2 remains, and I just want to, before we start, remind everyone that Prey 2 and in its various iterations was apparently, according to all accounts, repeatedly deliberately sabotaged by Bethesda, and then was unceremoniously thrown out in 2014. So, we will never see what could have been. Unfortunately, we will never see Tommy again, and the world is a little bit worse for that. That said, when this came out, I was still excited to potentially play it. When it came out, it was well liked, and although it's been not remembered super well, even, 4 years on, I'm eager to play it now. This is developed by a different development studio entirely. It's developed by Arcane Studios, who developed Dishonored, a series that I've talked about before on the channel and not played directly, but or I put some footage up over when I was talking about it, but I haven't, played it directly on the channel. Whereas the original Prey and its and Prey 2 were developed by Human Head Studios, which was unceremoniously killed, driven into the ground and ground into dust by Bethesda. So thanks, Bethesda. Those were some good developers with a long history of game development, and you decided to kill the studio. So thanks for that. Allegedly, some of them escaped and have started a new studio, but we'll see. Anyway, without further ado, I guess I'm just gonna start a new game. I went through the options a little bit, and there's some odd things in there, and I don't really know how this is gonna perform. Oh, this is weird. Campaign slots. Well, that reminds me of a video I have in the works, but survival mode options? No, I don't think I want any of that. This is kind of weirdly spoilery and seems like the exact kind of thing they should leave for New Game Plus, which is already right on the... Why is it even on the menu then? You couldn't make a dynamic menu? Anyway. Let's get started. Oh. They're both pretty unsettling, actually. I don't know. That's a MU. I don't know if that's intended as a pun or not, but now entering your apartment. You wake up in your apartment in the year 2032. I'm hoping that this performs, technically speaking, well. It should, but we'll see. This is a weird start. Press any key / button. Sure.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
Very directional audio going on. Ooh. I did adjust the field of view, and I may have made it too aggressive.
Hey, Morgan. Wake up. You're burning daylight. You sent the helicopter to pick you up. It's just a few tests.
Yeah.
Don't forget to wear your suit. See you soon.
All right.
Oh, listen, really great you decided to come on board. We're gonna shake things up, Morgan. Like old times.
Do I have a voice? You've been given an objective. Press O to open your transcribe. First day on the job, put on your TranStar uniform, your apartment. Interesting. Okay, so I've talked about field of view in previous videos and the ways those can be implemented in odd ways. I really don't like this, the way the thing floats and moves. I've complained about that before. One thing I did want to put, so I made some tweaks. I forgot I wanted to point this out. For some reason, the default, it does have adaptive resolution off by default, but the default target FPS for adaptive resolution is 30 FPS, which is just the most bizarre shit. I don't know why anyone in this day and age thinks it's acceptable for a game to run at 30, anything less than 60 FPS, basically. I recognize that there are some people who don't, can't see the difference between 30 and 60, or it doesn't bother them. But especially for something like adaptive resolution, why would you ever want to sacrifice a higher level of detail and a more limited frame rate? That seems entirely beyond comprehension to me. If you've got the extra horsepower and you can still maintain, what I would call a smooth frame rate, which is a minimum of 60, then maybe. But I really don't understand. Anyway, I was going to change. Wait, where is it? It is. Oh, I turned. Wait, what did I do? I turned all of the. Oh, that's weird. They added one. So I think by default, these were all off, with the exception of examine keypads. So I turned them all on, and I don't really know what that'll do, but anyway, that's what I went with. Why can I not find the... Am I dumb? Oh, I was looking right at it. So the default, I think, was 86. So let's just see. Oh, man, that's really tight. I don't like that. Let's just frame ourselves up on this window and then see what the... There's also no settings for I can see chromatic aberration and bloom going on in the background there, and there are no settings for that, which kind of pisses me off. I believe this is also an ID Tech game, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong on that. Where are we going? Advanced settings. What happens if we pump it up to 100? Does that look less brain melty? But okay, that's a reasonable balance. It seems it's still really tight horizontally. I don't know why it's like that. Why did you pick this lens for this? Anyway, we won't spend too much time on that. Huh. Do I have an inventory? I do. Okay. Interesting. Congrats, Morgan. Alex. The method.psi. Excerpt from Architects of the Neurological Revolution. What if I told you I could turn you into a mathematician on the level of Einstein in under 10 minutes? I'd say you're full of it. That's the first thing that crosses my mind, but it withers in the face of Alex Yu's conviction. Despite myself, I'm riveted. He's not bullshitting me. Himself? Maybe. Me? No. Alex leans back in his chair. Welcome to the age of the neuromod. Oh, whoops. I've been playing too many different games. That is a very aggressive lean. How do I... Oh, there. So, I was wondering about this. I thought this might be the case, but I wasn't sure. This was the final item that I picked up. The Easter egg item that I picked up in Evil Within 2. So, actually... So this came out in 2017. Evil Within 2 did as well, right? I think. This is weird. Oh, that's so many buttons. And it's not the ones I expect. They're not terrible. It's just a little bit. Encyclopedia of Food Science and Cooking. Excerpt from an entry in the Encyclopedia of Food Science Cooking 2033 edition by Elliot and Shaw. Transglutaminase. Glutaminase? A naturally occurring enzyme found in plants, animals, and bacteria. TG is often used to bond protein-containing foods together and in the production of foods such as imitation crab meat and fish balls. Known colloquially by chefs as meat glue. Chef Shaw's tip. Gluing chicken skin to salmon will actually protect the outside of the salmon from overcooking. Okay. I don't know whether that's real or not. I know that meat glue is a thing that exists. I don't know if transglutaminase is what that is, but... You know, right off the bat, I really appreciate the details that are put into this. Not only because it looks nice in general and things are an interesting mix of like semi-futuristic and normal. Like this still clearly is a coffee maker, even though it's got some elements and stuff that are new. I like this mix of like it's clearly a high-tech steamer, but it's still using, you know, a bamboo traditionally made steamer basket in it. And in general, since we appear to be playing an Asian character, I appreciate that there are some like sort of, you know, Asian inspired elements, but are clearly in a like close future kind of stylization. It's always appreciated to have a somewhat unified aesthetic to your world, which is something that I can't say as much for something like Deus Ex, which really tries to achieve this sort of thing, but like doesn't achieve it nearly as well. Like right off the bat, this is a much more both interesting and believable room for me than Jensen's apartment in Human Revolution. So I keep pressing the wrong buttons. I'm trying to figure out if it actually has physics, or if it's just the throwing. No, okay, so I think it's just if you throw it, it breaks. If you drop it, it doesn't. All right. Heart of the Walk. Excerpt from Chapter 5 of Heart of the Walk by P. Sudo. So this is what I was talking about with the chromatic aberration. I don't know if it'll come through in the recording. It probably does a little bit, but not as much. There is very clearly a chromatic aberration effect on this. So it's blue text with a red, like a really aggressive red chromatic aberration that's like more like a drop shadow, or the other way around. It's a drop shadow that looks more like chromatic aberration, and it genuinely makes this text harder to read, and I really don't like it. I know I'm a stickler more than most on things like fonts and legibility and the text design, but come on. Cooking with a well-seasoned wok can be a sublime, almost spiritual experience. The many layers of the blackened surface are like stored memories of all the meals that have gone in and out of the carbon steel bowl before, now imparting echoes of their rich flavor to every new meal it is tasked to cook. I just realized what this is. It's a little herb garden. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, these are important details for like establishing not only the state of the world, but the state of the character. What does the character care about? What does the character do? What are they, what are they about? Carry, leverage 3. Do we have upgrades like you do in Human Revolution? I guess maybe we do. It seems very odd, but maybe that's a New Game Plus thing that like only works if you come back. Or maybe we will come back here. I don't know. I know a little bit about the game. I was not under the impression that this was a place you stayed in very much, which is why I'm scrubbing the whole place right now, But it does make me wonder. Since I picked the female character, I wonder whether this would be replaced by a different bag or something if I had picked the male character. A little soldering iron. See, again, like establishing stuff. So, the character's a tinkerer. They like building stuff. They work with electronics and things. Get some frayed wire. Burnt circuit board, plastic tubing. I have no idea what any of this is going to be for. Speech synthesis and natural language generation. Excerpt from Chapter 3 by Sebastian Smith. Voice conversation technology enables synthesis systems to generate speech patterns based on their source or entirely new voices, without the need for exhaustive recordings and pre-processing. The quality of the resulting voice depends on the training data, as well as the precision of the conversion function and limitations in processing power. It's awfully weird to me, just a UI thing. So it's got this thing here. It says mouse 2, right? But it's not, it doesn't have a one, it doesn't indicate it, in a lot of games, mouse 2 would have the silhouette of the mouse with like the right button highlighted. It's also weird to call it mouse 2. Technically, I know what that is, but like nobody calls it mouse 2, right? And also you can't just click on it. you have to do the specific thing. So having it there as a little box that seems to be interactable seems very odd. I have legs. I mean, I noticed that before. I just wanted to call it out. Lucky's Pizza. TranStar employees' workstations often contain useful information files and utilities. Many TranStar employees have private workstations. Lock stations require a password. Search the environment for clues or use the hacking ability to bypass the login. Workstations may contain email files to download or special utilities. All right. On some level, I appreciate the you know, having true binaural audio, but it's a little aggressive on some of these things. The mixing is very, very strongly in one ear versus the other. So if you're watching this with headphones, you'll clearly notice it more. But all right. Oh, this is, I don't like this, because that's like, hey, I'm gonna turn my head way over to click on that. Yeah, because that, I don't even know. I think that's a waypoint thing down there at the bottom. Oh, no. Yeah, see, because I can't move myself around. Hold on a second. Is this a setting I changed? Did I screw it up? No. I didn't change any of this. Let's turn this all to what it was. Yeah, just... You know what? Maybe this is less weird if you don't have this more aggressive... No, that... I mean, it's not better or worse. It's still weird. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Alright, let's just revert that, and then eventually I'll stop fiddling with this. I make no promises, though. You know what you're getting into. You know this channel. You should know this channel. Congrats and welcome. Hello, Morgan. So glad to hear you'll be coming aboard soon. Your first official workday is Monday, March 15th. But first, we have a series of training exercises we run with all new employees. Just some stuff to clear you for life in orbit. Exciting times ahead. Have a good flight, and I will see you soon. Thomas Tucker, Human Resources, Telos 1 Research Facility. Hey, I sent a package with everything you'll need for your first day. Uniform, transcribe, and a neuromod. Install the neuromod right away, as we'll be running some tests first thing in the morning. Just follow the instructions. I'll be in touch. Hey, I just got off the phone with Mom and Dad. They won't be there when the shuttle departs. They're in New York. Company stuff. But they send their best. I think Mom's a little disturbed that both her children are going to be outside her gravitational pull at the same time. She said you'd better behave and do everything your big brother says. Okay, actually, she said the opposite. I'm supposed to behave and do what you tell me. So there you go. That's Mom. Anyway, everyone's excited about your ideas up there, so get ready. I'll probably call you in the morning to make sure you're up. See you very, very soon, Morgan. See you very, very soon, Morgan. Alex. Okay. It's weird that they would have F to Wait, but it's... Oh. But why can I press F to do the same thing as mouse button 1? Ugh, that is jarring. Okay. Throw it on the ground. Is there anything? Oh, yeah, that's what you want me to do. All right. Can't turn it off. Okay. All right. We're learning. We're learning. Lights don't come on automatically. And you can't place stuff back on shelves. Good to know. I mean, you gotta touch everything, right? Doesn't get your camera. Oh no. All right. Yeah, there's some audio, spatial audio stuff that is very unpleasant in headphones. Yeah, just like I rotate this far and then my left ear just cuts out completely. It's very jarring. It's true over here as well. Like, it doesn't even stop. So, like, if I go like this, it just sort of hurts my ears alternatingly. Ugh. Alright, well. You remember when games used to have mirrors? I mean, literally the first thing we saw was ourselves looking at ourselves in the mirror, so that was weird. Oh god, there's a whole bunch of books. I don't think I'm going to be able to read all these books. An account of Fermi's question. Excerpt from a book on the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence by Dr. Robert James III. Consider that there are billions of stars in the galaxy like our sun, many of them far older. Some of these stars will have Earth-like planets. Some of these planets may have developed intelligent life. Some intelligent life may develop interstellar travel. If a civilization began before ours, it seems possible, even probable, that even at the speed of currently envisioned interstellar travel, they could already have the entire galaxy colonized. The problem is we haven't detected any such civilizations, nor have any contacted us. Why? That's a reference to the Fermi paradox, I believe. I mean, that's basically a statement of the Fermi paradox, I believe. Yeah. Although it's pretty poorly worded, I have to say. Engineering control systems. There's a metaphor here, you know. Typically, the objective of control theory is to monitor the output of a system and compare it with the desired input, desired output, the reference signal. The difference between the actual and the desired outputs, the error signal is applied as a feedback to the input of the system to bring the actual output closer to the reference. Good control systems and good engineers learn from the past. The brain was once considered too warm, wet, and noisy for seemingly delicate quantum processes. However, the discovery of quantum coherence in biological processes such as plant photosynthesis, avian navigation, and our own sense of smell paved the way for the eventual discovery of quantum vibrations inside the microtubules of neurons. That's kind of nonsense. Consciousness, the fire in the equations. The nature of consciousness remains deeply mysterious. How can the subjective nature of experience, my inner life, be explained in scientific terms? Does consciousness emerge from complex computations among brain neurons, or is it a fundamental and irreducible property woven into the fabric of the universe? Introduction to the survey of parapsychological meta-analysis. For example, conducting a meta-analysis of over 2,000 Gansfield trials wherein participants are subjected to mild sensory deprivation in order to test for telepathy reveals a hit rate of 39%. These results are statistically significant, meaning that the success rate is above what could be explained by chance alone. There is no denying it. Something spooky is going on. It's not a very professional way to present that if you want to be convincing. Excerpt from an anthology of Tang poetry. Stork on the Stork Tower. Well, unfortunately, I can't read that. Galactic Conquistadors. Wish I could rotate it, and also that it wasn't a crappy JPEG, but all right, me, my brother, mom, and dad, I guess. This physics system is a little bit bouncy. Doesn't want me to break this. All right. Why is there a power button on it if I can't use it? I don't like your crappy ambient music. Go away. It's quite the city out there. Door jammed. What do you mean jammed? Didn't I call somebody about this? I was trying to tell if we were on the top floor or not. It certainly looks like we're pretty far up here, and I don't see a balcony above mine, so presumably we must be pretty well off, given that our parents seem to maybe possibly own the company. That would not be that much of a surprise, but I guess we'll find out the details. I'm kind of wondering if every one of our every room is going to have this much stuff in it. I would hope not, but you never know. Otherwise, I may have to actually, hold myself back and not read everything and touch everything. Neuromod application instructions. Warning. Neuromod should only be administered by certified TranStar technicians under controlled conditions. Subject may experience slight discomfort, swelling, or redness of the eye shortly afterwards. Remove Neuromod from vacuum-sealed container. Press rubberized eye cup firmly against bony orbit of eye socket. Keep eye open. Press orange release trigger and continue to hold Neuromod against eye for 5 minutes. Dispose of used Neuromod in provided biohazard bag. Yeah. I have a particular... I've expressed before. There's a lot of medical stuff that I'm very uncomfortable with. But in particular, eye stuff in particular I'm not a big fan of. One of the most jarring, not like the worst things I've ever seen, but the most jarring is there's some old videos that Salvador Dali made, including with some, like, if you're familiar with Dali's art, he made a lot of strange things. But it involved, there's a shot, a very brief but heavy shot of somebody's eye being cut, like it's being, faked, but somebody's eye being cut open with a razor blade, and that has stuck with me for as a very long time and will probably never leave me. Yeah. All right. I think we've touched pretty much everything in this room. Oh, wait a minute. Hands-on electronics. By working through a series of practical experiments, this humble manual will introduce you to the fundamentals of modern analog and digital electronics. By the end, you will be able to construct any simple circuit. As Thomas Edison once said, to invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. All right. Are we done? I'm not bringing this episode to an end until I've touched everything. Make a mess of the place. It is interesting what you can and can't pick up. Great Wall of China, Kennedy Space Center. Greetings from Austin, Texas. One last go through. Do move quite fast. Part of that is just the camera, but anyway. All right. I'm going to cut the episode, and when we come back, we'll put on our uniform. I'll see you guys then.